Hi and welcome to Intros, Vamps and Endings, and in this lesson we're going to look at a really common vamp. What's a vamp? A vamp is really just a short chordal pattern. It doesn't really go anywhere, but it lets us go round and round and round while we're waiting for something to happen. So maybe the band have started playing and we're waiting for the singer to come on and we don't know how long that's going to be. We can just loop round. Maybe we just need a break between finishing the chorus and singing the next verse because we need breathing time. And this is something where you can just put that little vamp in as many times as you need to go round. If you've forgotten the words to verse 2, you can vamp for as long as it takes for you to remember them. It's a really common one. We're in the key of C and we're going C, A7, D minor or D minor 7, G7. Two beats on each chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll hear that all the time. In fact, it makes a great intro as well. Now this is a bit of an odd pattern. It's actually based on the chords to I Got Rhythm. And you can go from the C to an A7, to a D minor, to a G7. But you can actually switch those two middle chords from minor to 7th or 7th to minor and not really change how it works that much. So I could go C, A minor, D minor, G7. Or I could make them both 7ths, C, A7, D7, G7. Or we could do like I was doing at the beginning, where the A is a 7th and the D is a minor. You can mess around with it and see which one suits the song that you're playing best. Musically, where are they coming from? Well, we call this pattern the 1, 6, 2, 5, and this is why. C is our key, so we call that 1. If C is 1, C, D, E, F, G, A. A is 6. 1, 6. If C is 1, C, D is 2. 1, 6, 2. And if C is 1, C, D, E, F, G, G or G7 here is 5. 1, 6, 2, 5. It's just a shorthand. We're just counting through the scale. You can see where they all are on the circle of fifths here. And you'll see they're all in a nice little line. I go from my C and then I jump from C to G to D to A. So 3 jumps around the circle clockwise and then I make my way back to C. And it doesn't matter, I know we've got minors on the inside and majors on the outside, but really we just need those letter names because we can take all sorts of liberties with the 2 in the middle. The G is nearly always going to be a G7 because that leads us home to C nicely. Now what I did on the intro was a little bit different. The second time round, I made it a little variation. I did this. A7, D minor 7, G7. What's going on there? Well, these two are just higher inversions of chords. That's a D minor 7. This is a G9, but a G9 is just a fancified G7. But what happened down here? I seem to play, well, many players would recognise that as an E minor 7. And this as maybe a G diminished or a C sharp diminished. You can name diminished chords after lots of the notes in them. Where did they come from? Well, they're in disguise. This chord can also be thought of as a C major 9, and this one can be thought of as an A7 with a flat 9. I know this is going crazy now, but we're finding all these jazzier variations. But really, it's doing the same thing as the first time round, but with some more interesting chord voicings. And also we have this nice ability to slide down. And we don't have to do these high inversions, it still works. If we did the plain old D minor 7, G7 down there, and you can play around with those sorts of things. You can also look on your circle of fifths and try and find it in other keys. So for example, in G, we would have G, then we leap around to an E, so maybe an E7. Then we go to an A, so we could do an A minor 7. And then then we go to the D, so let's do a D7, and we get the same pattern. And if you learn that little vamp and work it out in your circle of fifths in a few keys, then you'll never be stuck for a very simple intro or just for something to put in the middle of a song to space out your verses and choruses. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll be back soon with another intro, vamp or ending. Don't forget to subscribe. See ya.